Hello again, I'm Robert Heckler, Program Director for the Bay Area Council Fall Camp. This is another one of our online training videos. We're going to be covering camp policies and some camp procedures in reference to camp rules and regulations and a policy user manual. We're also going to be going over some shooting sports rules as well as medic lodge stuff. Let me get my screen shared here. Some of these we're not going to go over. They are not relevant to our camp that we're doing this year, but there's some different things that you need to be able to see. If you look here right in the beginning, you'll see a general rules. All units and organizations should make reservations at least 2 weeks in advance. They do that at a registered camp. Designated unit leaders, event directors, and/or guests, visitors will check in with the camp master or camp ranger upon arrival at camp. The camp chronicle sign in front of the ranger's residence will indicate where and with whom to check in, which that will be the registration table and the HHC on Friday when you arrive, even for staff members. The scout oath and the scout law are the laws of camp. Each unit will be given a copy of the outdoor code along with these policies. Just remember that all of the stuff that we teach our scouts, we're expected to adhere by as staff members. Two deep leadership, YPT is strictly enforced. The whereabouts of youth while at camp must always be known by designated leadership, which if you are an area director or in charge of a merit badge and there are scouts assigned to your program area, that is you. You're required to have accountability of those scouts. If you don't, at any time, you need to let us know, let the camp or the program director know, and that way we can find out where that scout is. So events with co-ed participation must have both male and female adult leadership, 20 years age of older. Track, if for some reason you have females in, if you are a male area director or a male merit badge counselor and you are teaching a program and you have female scouts in your program and there are no females anywhere in the area, you need to notify somebody immediately so that we can get that YPT issue corrected. Speed limit through camp is 10 miles an hour on all roads, much slower if there's scouts moving about. No motorized vehicles are allowed in the campsite for any reason. They'll be parked in designated parking areas. Trailers must be parked in designated area only. No individual will be allowed to ride on the outside of a vehicle or in the bed of a pickup truck or in a trailer. No more than legally allowable number of passengers shall ride inside any vehicle at any time. Council and district events may be granted exemption under national policy. Guide to safe scouting. Seatbelts should be worn in vehicles at all times. Personal firearms, ammunition, air rifles, pellet guns, bows and arrows, slingshots may only be used for instructional, non-firing use only, and must be pre-approved by the council's camping director or camp ranger prior to one's arrival at camp. All personal approved firearms must be checked through the camp ranger upon arrival to be secured with the camp ranger. Use of facility, including use of the horsemanship area, pool, waterfront, general buildings such as Leaders Lodge are available for use with a weekend reservation. That doesn't apply to us. Dogs and other personal pets are prohibited. There will be some animals on site that are part of program and our zoo, Camp K Zoo track. No open flames, candle stoves, gasoline, kerosene lanterns, or heaters allowed at camp. Gasoline stoves or lanterns are not permitted, period. Be careful with fire. Campsites are equipped with fire rings. Use them. Conserve water, turn off faucets and wash hands and/or showers. Do not cut any live trees, shrubs, or underbrush. Steps in this rule will be allowed under the following conditions with the ranger's approval. Do a conservation good turn while in camp. Consult with the ranger or camp master for advanced approval. Keep noise down between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. No alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs will be allowed in camp. The use of either will be an immediate dismissal from the property. Notification of both scout executive and proper authorities will also occur. The use of tobacco products inside any building or facility at Camp Cronk was strictly prohibited. Use of tobacco products in front of scouts is prohibited under BSA national policy. Please consult with the camp ranger or camp master about where a designated smoking area may be set up. While at camp, you are to stay within the borders of the camp's property lines. Do not trespass onto adjacent private property of the camp's neighbors. All trash will be placed in the dumpsters provided by the council. Please be sure to keep your program areas clean and free of debris. Before leaving camp, individual unit leader for council district activity, the event chair, facility coordinator, or professional staffer will check out with the ranger or camp master. The proper cleanup of all facilities used must be also completed and approved by the ranger or camp master before leaving camp. This will actually all be handled by the camp commissioner. No fireworks on Camp Cronquo, period. No altering of existing facilities is strictly forbidden. 2-wheel carts are provided for use of transporting equipment to or from campsite. These carts can be dangerous if improperly used. Use should be restricted from horseplay on these carts and should be supervised at all times. When using them, anyone caught riding on a cart will cause a unit to lose a privilege to use any cart for the duration of the camp event. If you're a staff member and you see any of these violations, please be sure to address them with the unit leadership. And, with using the scout law as a guide, be polite and professional and just make sure that we point this stuff out. All illegal activities will be reported to scout executive and appropriate civilian authorities. Key access to any camp building must be obtained from the camp ranger or his designee for event or activity. Be it known that order of the Arrow Ordeals, Fellowship, Banquets, Service Weekends fall to the district or lodge professional advisor to schedule and fall under general rules for district council events. And the last one, we went through emergency procedures already. For the interfaith service, the chapel is a place of worship and such. Quiet and reverence should be observed. All units and events using the chapel should follow general camp policy on supervision. Open services should be non-denominational. Reservations are not required for the use of the chapel with the exception of a special ceremony or a unique use outside of standard use. Units and events using the chapel at the same time are encouraged to hold joint services. Camping in the chapel area is not permitted. And upon completion of service, the chapel should be left free of debris and garbage. The kitchen and associated equipment will be left clean and stored away upon departure. All floors swept and mopped. All equipment will be wiped down and degreased. All trash will be taken to approved dumpsters. Any equipment damage must be reported to the camp ranger as a designee. In order to utilize the kitchen facilities and equipment, the district council event must provide a head cook, which we've done that. While using the kitchen facility, the head cook is responsible for maintaining and updating cold and hot charts during the event. While using the kitchen facilities, the head cook is responsible for ensuring the cook's restroom is stocked and clean during and after the event. Any leftovers or perishable from an event will be disposed of at the end of the event after every meal based on the COVID policy. All health department standards will be followed during use. This includes no storage of items on floor, labeling and dating of all food placed in the fridge, freezer, and secondary containers. All cleaning agents and supplies must be replaced through the event's individual activity budget. Use of the Health and Education Center for sleeping is prohibited with the exception of the health lodge used to house the medic camp master only. The head cook for an event must provide a list of their entire cook crew in advance to the event. The head cook and staff must be approved by the Scout Executive Council Facilities Director or the camp ranger. Requests for specific equipment or facilities are required, and due to the state health department rules and regulations, no one under the age of 18 may use the kitchen facilities and equipment at any time. You can take a look at this. Convection ovens, the wash sinks, the restrooms, the cooking pots and pans, serving equipment, prep area cleaning supplies, walk-in cooler, walk-in freezer, upright food warmers, salad bar servers, utensils, kitchen office, hot pads, meat dispensers, large coffee lot. That's the general kitchen area, which includes all that stuff is in there. The health lodge at Camp Cronquo is normally staffed with trained medical personnel for council and district events. The health lodge is not to be used as sleeping quarters for anyone other than medical personnel or patients. For most events, the health officer is to be housed in the lodge with a second adult being permitted for youth protection purposes. In the event that a second adult is not sleeping in the lodge, then at minimum, a second adult must be on standby call to come to the health lodge and serve as a second adult should the youth not have a parent or leadership accompanying them. The restroom located in the health lodge are for exclusive use of medical staff and patients. All national BSA policies for securing of the medical facilities must be followed, and the health officer must assigned to the lodge will be responsible for securing of all medical supply, securing the building, and adhering to all national, local, and council policies. The health lodge must be left clean after use. The pavilion is a central meeting place. The pavilion must be kept clean, free of, we got to clean up all the trash, turn off all the lights at night when leaving the pavilion, observe the lights out and noise policy found in the general rules of use of camp. The pavilion is equipped with basketball goals for the enjoyment of scouts, scouters, and their guests. District council and other organized activities take precedence over any sports activity. Basketball participants and other pavilion users are responsible for any damages resulting from their activities. Any damages must be immediately reported to the ranger, camp master, or camp administration. The pavilion does not require reservation for use. It is expected that groups will share its use and respect others. Respect the horses in their environment. Never enter the horsemanship corral on your own or without permission. Any council-owned or council-approved rental equipment and horses may be used. Wear the proper attire and do not use any equipment that you feel is defective or will not operate properly. All national BSA and local state policies will be strictly followed when using this facility. Equipment must be checked in and checked out to the camp ranger. Any damaged equipment that is outside of normal wear and tear will fall to the individual group to replace. Any new equipment needing to be replaced because of damage will purchase through the camping director or camp ranger, and fee will be based on current market equipment prices. For the Leaders Lodge, youth will be prohibited from entering the building except for when check-in area reservations for, let's see, we go pertaining to us. After using, it's got to be the trash, food, and program material will be removed and disposed of properly. Will be left clean in good order. The RIT is not the default training lodge. All training occur in the designated training lodge. Exceptions to this will be considered on a case-by-case basis. Also, is no sleeping quarter policy with the exception of designated weekend use, where a cabin use overflow requires that the camp master be lodged there. And for our camp, the camp commissioner will be lodged there. Qualified person must have on file certificate for the use of the ranges. All BSA shooting sports guidelines will be followed directly under the guidance of our shooting sports director, Bobby Taylor. Training lodge will be used for training purposes only, which we have track in there. All training material, trash, and equipment that does not belong in the lodge will be removed. Individual food and drinks strictly prohibited in the training lodge. However, for full day long events and with approval from the ranger, general beverages and snacks for group training sessions will be permitted. All materials in the Pressler library must remain in the library at no time. Will articles be removed from the building. This facility will not be used for sleeping unless hazardous conditions warrant use with ranger approval. What about this up here? I'll stop sharing for just a second. Ultimately, if you're running any kind of program area, you will be responsible for making sure that your program area is left in better shape than what it was when you started, when you got there. You want to keep everything clean. First and foremost, you must follow for the shooting sports manual, talking about the range rules, so kind of a general so everybody understands. Specific guidelines for shooting sports and BSA guide to say scouting. All of that is covered in the Boy Scouts of America National Shooting Sports Manual. Shooting as a unit is addressed as a level 2 open shooting experience for both rifle and shotgun. The unit must provide an NRA rifle instructor and NRA range safety officer. These cannot be the same person. Rifle range instructor must have no more than 1:8 ratio of instructors to shooters, 1-to-1 with shotguns, certificate of training, and we have all that is covered by our shooting sports director. Go back to this one here. Policies and procedures for first aid. If new to this office, please sign into page 3 of the first aid logbook. Both participant and staff fill in all blanks. Check all incoming medical forms. All participants and staff must have current form on file. Valid forms are within 12 months of the end of the current camping event. Any camp over 72 hours must have A, B, and C on file. Insurance information must also be on file with medical forms. Must be signed by participant or parent and dated. Emergency contact information completed. Allergies. Please note if any medication used for adverse reactions, medications, inhalers, immunizations. Doctor physical signed and dated if camp is more than 72 hours. Please make note of all food allergies for food staff. This helps with their meal prep. And notify camp director of anyone with medical needs or concerns. If adults or parents are giving medication, stress importance of medical staff knowing if giving anything for adverse conditions. Epi, Benadryl for bee stings, food reaction, etc. When someone comes into the clinic for illness or injury, sign person into the first aid logbook. Please log them into page 4 in the corresponding page in the logbook. Please sign into correct book, participant or staff. Never remove pages from the book. If a mistake is made, cross out and write error with your initials. The event, camp, district, date, time, weather conditions, location. All this stuff is important. Type of participant, age, unit number, unit type, primary problem, secondary problem, transport to hospital for additional care, treated by, treatment notes, verified by. Please be thorough. If recommended further treatment, document that. If person denies need for further treatment, document. If youth, check with parent, guardian, not just advisor, troop leader, and document who have talked to and their response. If adult, contacting additional persons on their contact information, again, document whom you have talked to and their response. If need to send someone out to another facility, if needed, call 911. If the location of the emergency, the leader's lodge, HEC, etc., send someone to meet at the front gate. Type of emergency, what kind of emergency? Do not hang up with 911. Call camp director and program director. Pull participant medical form and copy to give information to facility and copy with participant. Call ahead to that facility if possible and document name of facility being transported to. And there's a phone number for both of those. Write who contacted, whom you spoke to, their title, doctor, nurse, medic, etc., date, time, what information, who is a transportation person, EMS, helicopter, personal car. If they call back, please document that information as well. In case of serious death or injury, contact the camp director immediately. They will help with contacting family. You do not contact family, next of kin, or other members of scouting groups or any other inquiring person. Do not contact the media or answer any questions. This will be done by a scouting official. Incident report to be filled out by the camp director. These are filled out in the event or serious injuries, serious illness reports, or death. All right, so that's some of the basic stuff. Looking at the horsemanship, we'll hit that one up real quick. The horse providers, Camp Cronk does not possess or maintain horses and rely on outside providers to supply horses and equipment. The following guidelines must be met when seeking horse providers. Horses are, all the horses we use got to be youth friendly and good disposition, must be rideable, be able to perform with amateur inexperienced riders, must be accompanied by owners or their designee experienced in handling and care of the horses. Owner or designee are responsible for their animals. Horses must be in good health and adequate physical condition for the activities. Horses must be inspected by the camp program director and area director to ensure the above guidelines are met. Camp Cronquois equine facilities must be clean and in good repair. Fences of paddocks used in programming must be in good repair and functional. Arena area must be clean and dirt may be plowed. Prior to program, water must be available to the program area for watering animals. Inspection, equipment, and training before use by participants. Each horse must be ridden by staff members and properly classified for appropriate activities by the horsemanship director. All tack used in the program is in good repair and inspected by the camp horsemanship director. Camp horsemanship director will provide necessary training to all staff members working in the horsemanship program. Horsemanship director will work closely with outside providers who provide horses for this program to ensure all requirements of this policy are adhered to. All program must be supervised by a registered scouter who is experienced in horsemanship. If teaching the horsemanship merit badge, the course must be taught by a registered merit badge counselor. Prior to camp with contact with the horses, scouts must complete a safety brief and be instructed on the rules, expectations, and safety procedures. When riding horses, scouts must wear an approved riding helmet, long pants, long sleeves, and gloves are highly recommended. All BSA weather hazards and youth protection policies apply, and scouts must act in a calm and respectful manner at all times. All right, that sums up some of our camp rules and our camp policies and procedures. We will see you in the next course.